I'm going to show you how you can record your gameplay with comms from you and your teammates using a free software called OBS. First things first, if you haven't already installed OBS Studio, head over to obsproject.com and download the proper installer. While that's downloading, I want to give a special shout out to anyone coming from the Hard Carry Gaming Journal. If you're not familiar, it's an 8-week guided journal to help you improve at any competitive video game with contributions from some of the best and most winningest esports coaches of all time. If you want to check it out, it's linked in the description below. Okay, now that we have OBS installed, let's go ahead and open it up. We'll start by going to Settings and Output. Here, you'll choose where you would like the videos to be recorded to and select your preferred video file format. I'd recommend using MP4 as it's simple and easy to use. And under Output, make sure you're using the NVENC encoder. You will also want to check the recording quality. I use indistinguishable, but honestly, you can use the high quality setting and be perfectly fine and save some of your space on your computer. Now we need to set up what's called a scene. Click on the plus under the scenes box. We're going to name this scene gameplay, but it doesn't really matter what you call it as long as you remember it's for recording your VODs. Next, we need to add what OBS calls sources, which are the components that make up your scene. Start by clicking the plus under the sources box and select Game Capture. For simplicity, I'll name it Game. You can set it to capture any full screen application on your PC, or you can just specify the game that you are playing. Once your gameplay capture is set up, we need to make sure that your audio settings are correct as well. To do this, we first want to check that our microphone is set to the mic channel. You can configure this by clicking the 3 dots, click Properties, and select the correct input for your microphone. For the desktop audio channel, make sure that this is set to the same input as your headset that you are using. It's the same process for changing the input if you need to. Once that's configured properly, your gameplay audio will automatically come through the desktop audio channel. If you're using Discord or another application for team comms, don't worry, that will come through the desktop audio channel as well. Essentially, anything going to your headset will also be recorded through there. Now for console gamers, you're going to have to acquire an extra piece of equipment called a game capture card. You're also going to need a special cable called a chat link cable if you want to capture your microphone audio as well. I'll leave a link in the description to that equipment below if you don't already have it, but if you do, perfect, let's move on to the next step. In OBS, you'll click on the plus and add a video capture device and select your capture card. That's what will allow you to record your gameplay. We're also going to need to capture audio, so go ahead and add an audio output capture and set it to capture the audio that's coming from your capture card. If you're using the chat link, this audio input will capture both gameplay audio and your microphone audio in one. Okay, now that we have our scene set up, let's do some fine tuning. For audio, OBS has a built-in mixer where you have sliders for each of your audio sources. You can adjust these to make sure everything is balanced just right between your game audio, Discord, and your microphone. You'll probably have to do a couple test recordings to really figure out what needs to be balanced, but it's there for you to use. Okay, we've got all that set up, so now it's officially time for you to record. To start recording, just hit the Start Record button at the bottom right, and once you're done, you'll go back and hit Stop Recording. If the application is minimized while you're recording, there will be a red light on to let you know you're still recording in case if you forget. Once you're done recording, I highly recommend you go into where you save your video files and rename them to be able to keep track of what you're recording. For example, if you recorded a rank match, name it such as Ranked Match 5, 12, 24. Or if you want to keep track of maybe where you're at with your rank, you could say Rank Match Qualifier number 1, Rank Match Bronze 2, or some sort of system to keep them in order. And that's it. You're now ready to record your gameplay with comms to be able to review your individual gameplay with all of the information needed to see where you can improve. Keep in mind, this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the OBS Studio software. There's so much more it can do. And if you're interested, there's plenty of videos out there to take a deeper dive. But this is enough to get you started.